Hello, everybody.
We're good.
We're live.
We fit.
We have a new camera. We have new lighting. It's a new day.
3 wide now.
Yeah, it is 3 wide now. Don't get used to this. This is a special day for all of us. The new release is in front of me.
Does it exist, Josh? That's everybody's
the
question.
origin, the H10 origin does exist.
Yes.
Jim realized that this loophole was going to exist some time ago, and he
Been waiting for it.
yeah.
There's a reason.
There's many reasons for many of the things that we did, but today we're going to go over this thing, show you guys a bunch of the little details about it, because even though we tried to pack a lot into the web page, there's still a lot that we can't really just cover in a way that we think people will pay attention to.
I knew I should have brought my new glasses in.
Me too.
Trying to read all your comments. Thank you guys. They're flowing in.
We will try and get through as many comments as possible while we go, but we do want to try and get you some close-up looks and tell you some of the differences about this. But I think the biggest thing we probably want to hit first is just that it's not an optic.
Yes.
Right? So while the cage styling that you do see above the top portion here, and even some of the underpinnings will look very familiar to the optic, a lot of the chassis was changed to fit the body that was designed for it.
So it is not interchangeable.
Yeah, like if you somehow got these panels from somebody who ordered one of these, you're not going to be able to put them onto an optic. There was a lot of changes that had to be made that these guys went over and over and over. Brandon has built
Revised and changed and revised and adjusted. We'll actually show you one of the original first trucks we put together too.
5 revisions on the battery door.
yeah.
And then I suggest a few things for assembly, and Jim's like, but I already made cages.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to change this.
Yeah, I did that to you too. It's another.
Yes.
picture.
Yeah.
We will. So today we're also going to pick on each other and point out all of our flaws.
Yeah. But yeah, so we do want to go over a bunch of this. It's a lot. Just yeah.
What?
Actually, I sit in the middle seat usually when we're on our airplane together.
Window seat over there.
Yeah. It's like I have the window.
Yeah,
I can look at everything.
I take the aisle seat because I typically have to pee on the plane.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of little things that are cool pieces here. Just even kind of looking at this thing top down, it does have the carbon roof, and this was actually the inception of the molded carbon parts.
Right. So I showed the roof off with Jim a long time ago because it was coming with this car. And it came out so well, we went back to the vendor and said, hey, can you make the optic hood and sides? And they made it happen.
Right.
And the optic kit came out while we were still working on the H10 origin.
So, but
So
yeah, like
that's
the first.
why.
We're just like, let's do a molded carbon
Well,
roof.
we were,
Because we were
I
going to
told Jim, I was like, we have to machine this roof. It can't be a stamped plate.
But the original one had a stamp plate.
No, the original one was stamped like it, and that was one of the issues I had with the
Right.
original. It just didn't fit.
And then you came up with that idea. And I was like, ooh, perfect.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
let's do.
Yeah.
So that was a big one. Now the body stuff, Jim is I think we've had like
A body
a
design.
model that was kind of like this for years,
Yeah.
5 or more years, I bet.
This went through a lot of changes.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's been like he had a model that he looked at and kind of compared,
yeah.
and then it's changed and this, and it finally got adapted into this version over the last 2 years.
I actually like to go back even further because everybody wanted a plastic version of the original Ripper.
Right.
And guess what we came up with?
Yeah.
The optic.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Jim was working on a cage for the VS410, a Ripper style cage for the VS410. And he had that body design. Is this the right timeline? This sounds about
Pretty
like
close,
we kind
yeah.
of went through these like, we should do this, we should do this. And then the optic came out, the proportions, everything was like pretty dialed to be an RTR in a kit. And then Jim came in one day, he's like, look, I tweaked the design to fit on the optic. And we were like,
well, some of it was I did have a different cage drawn up. You're like, you should really look at the new design. And
yes.
I brought it in to my model. I'm like, damn, Brandon did such a good job on this. Like, it
Yeah.
everything
The
perfectly.
packaging was done.
Right. We had the axle design and the suspension clearances and all of that. Now, the suspension clearances are fairly similar, although the front is changed up to be in this double shear through the hood with rotated mounting positions, things that you just wouldn't do in plastic. You can see the front shocks bolt through the front, right, and double shear the actual top of the shock caps. And unlike the optic, the fenders wrap all the way around the outside to give it that more full body look rather than the, more pinched appearance that the optic
There you
has.
go. Actually, it's one.
Wait there.
No screws on the side of the body.
Thanks, Bob, for the layup.
Yeah. We were almost there. Yeah.
So the this went through some iterations. Does the first one you have back there?
There's actually one on.
So the body panel versions went round and round. This version is all clean on the side. This is one of Brandon's
That's
first
number prototype.
upside down one.
Upside down one. We'll also get to that
It's the
story.
last one.
Which one?
The other.
So first and last of the two that we'll use.
I think meant
So-
context.
You can see the serial numbers on the back here. Well, this one is upside down.
Oops, I don't want to talk about that.
We all make mistakes.
This again, early prototype, but you see the door hardware.
There's a lot of things on this car. Actually.
There's a lot different, actually. Yeah, like Brandon's saying on this one.
So this uses the plastic battery compartments from the optic, and that was the plan. To use the same pin. Some fitment that we worked through there.
Yeah, we went through, but this has a just a regular battery case there, and it bolted through the same way that the stock kit panels do. And
I think I said I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we hid the fender hardware. It's actually bolted on the side here and one underneath the hood.
Right.
Jim did that. And the grill, you don't see any hardware there. The rear panels, you don't see.
You'll see two on top.
Two on the
in
top.
back.
two on the top,
And then,
yeah.
of course, down the top of the hood.
Um,
You could also see the original cage size, non-double shear on the.
oh yeah,
shocks.
this is more like how the optic is with
Yes.
two mounting points, but transverse rather than lateral.
This was actually machined and assembled before we even had samples of the H10 axles.
Yeah.
Because it's on F10
Yeah, this is on an F10 portal setup with a BTA and a stubby kit. No, not a stubby kit.
Right.
So it's got
doesn't need it with the longer
it's
wheelbase.
got an axe in there.
So Jim and I we were in a race for a long time.
But yeah,
Was this going to be released in aluminum or the RTR?
which we could
Or
have.
not? There was things we could have done. Yes.
Hey, bumped into Bruce one.
The projects like this go through. There's a lot of
Look at this.
emotional ups and downs that get at times here.
The
Yeah,
original and then the front.
yeah. They're like
I
as
forgot about that.
yeah. This one was machined at the edge of a piece of material.
Mhm.
Things like this that just that's why they
I
don't
like
work.
the upside down.
The upside down number plate is
Yeah.
is pretty good. But grab the
Everything tells a story here.
grab the finished one again. So kind of going back and touching on that hardware, there's a decal set. We didn't actually show the decal set much in the other.
There's some standstill photos.
Yeah, in the media or the gallery there
I actually
are.
have the panels right here.
Oh, thank you.
You want me to-
So you can see the decal sets here. It's got some chrome in the origin there, as you can see, similar to how we did on the orange version of the optic kit. It had some reflective chrome in there. This one does as well. All of the
How much for that one? No, mine.
this is
Zero,
number
0.
oh, this is 000.
Yes.
So this is Jim's.
Yep.
They are all serialized. And
We'll-
they're all machined
we'll
with the
go
serial
through-
number
let's
in the
see.
back.
We'll go through 0, 1, 2, and 3 today, probably.
Now, is there two ones? Upside down one and regular one?
Upside down one is prototype.
And then I have a 0.0
Yeah.
and 2 offset zeros from having to build a serialization program that wasn't working.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all the body panels are machined other than the roof, as we talked about that being carbon fiber. But all of that hardware is hidden now. And that,
Now he wants to come to America.
yeah. So we'll pull off this battery door to show you guys the inside of this thing.
We have good equipment
I-
and good tooling. Just saying.
The battery door in this fits in and out so nice. Now.
I took photos of that specifically. Like,
So-
Go with the camera.
Yeah, please.
I had a lot of fun shooting.
So the battery door
Looks
comes out
so
like
cool.
you would expect, but now the hardware to mount this is hidden within or kind of covered by these aluminum pieces that mount to the carbon fiber plate there that holds everything. So you end up with nothing on the outside, just the clean look of the door panel and the graphics.
Yes, metal pin for the battery door. Somebody
Yeah.
asked that.
Metal.
Yep, machine aluminum.
Machined aluminum, similar to how you would have seen in some of the early optic RTRs.
You can also see how the front fender mounts here. So there's hardware here, and that gets hidden when the battery door is installed.
Let's see if I can break.
Will the Knight's custom material fit into this?
There.
Which the thing is, we actually kept a lot of things hopefully backwards compatible, so you
Yeah,
can do
you
all
should.
these custom things that are out there, so you can make these yours.
Yeah, animated interior should fit without. I don't think that you'll have any issues with that. I think the clearances are even a little bit better in some ways on, like the machine parts versus the larger molded battery tray. But it all just fits, clicks in, super nice. Trying to do what I can to not put like a gouge or a
Don't
scratch.
scratch my truck. Jesus.
You're supposed to be wearing gloves right now.
Exactly. So
Another thing we added, since one of my pet peeves on these trucks is seeing through them.
Right.
It drives me nuts. So we actually put lips on all the panels. Not as hard, easy to see.
yeah, a little bit.
So they overlap each other and kind of key together.
Yep. There's a good tongue and groove. What would be the proper?
Yeah, I don't know how you want to say it. I'm trying to do this whatever I can to not scratch this.
There's any scratches on it.
There's not.
This is gonna be my one shelf clean. I will make one for scratching.
We also have the two trucks that we used in the video
Yeah,
behind us.
You want that
We'll,
one?
we'll show you guys
yeah.
a couple.
Let's scratch that one instead.
Yeah,
Put yours,
scratch.
Yeah.
put yours away. Now we don't have versions of all of the colors done
Or you
yet.
want number one?
Give me the red and clear version. So this is one of the versions that we have that is anodized in a different color, red body panels and clear cage. Now on the website, if you've been on there, you'll notice that you do get a selection of your chassis color and your body panel color, axle color, wheel color, all that. Now, something that it's noted on the website, if you've looked or not, there is a lead time stated. Currently it's stated at 3 months. And that has to do with, allowing all these custom colors. We don't know how long everything's going to take. So we're putting a lead time on all of that. If you're using more,
This is the first bump stop I've built, and I'm trying so hard
not to just pink me in the side of the head. They're not hoping that, but
Want some pens?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
so
Don't mind me.
more standard colors we'll be able to fulfill faster. We're trying to be as reasonable as possible with what our expectations are and try and fulfill that on schedule. But that's one part of it. We're working on that. Jim has been machining parts and we've been inventorying them to try and be ready.
Right.
We did put up a certain quantity on the website for this initial release. Things have been going well. But
Another thing, we've already sent some cages, serial number
Mhm.
included, out to plating.
Your
So-
camera stopped. Oh,
it's okay.
That's all right. We're still live on the other one.
I will,
here.
swap me.
Oh, it's
You can keep,
So regarding the cages, I still see us on the
You
preview.
just
Hey, look
you
at
just
that.
wanted me over here, really.
get that. You like to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
So some cages and colors are already out to anodizing because we're trying to get a jump start on that 3-month lead time. So if your order number happens to be in front of somebody else's, but the color you picked isn't currently out to plating, we're going to do our best to get them out as quickly as possible.
And in the order that they're purchased.
And in the order that they're purchased, other than the ones that are already out to plating.
Right. So
Right.
there is a chance that if you ordered and somebody else ordered after you, but they had colors that were just happened to be in that queue faster, they could get a truck before you. So going by order number is not always going to be, we're going to do our best to work that way, but there is going to be a chance where things jump around.
Someone really likes the release video.
Matt
Thanks, Matt. That was a lot of fun.
did come down and hang out. Coincidentally, I made him work. So
He's super cheap too.
I
Exchange rate.
Yeah. stayed at my house, barely had to feed him.
He doesn't eat much. Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
That video.
will the wheels be available individually? I see that question just popped up there. Currently, no. There are items like the rear axle and the wheels that are currently only available on this platform, and at this time are not added to the website or anything like that. There is some disclaimer in there that later on down the road or for special projects, things like that, we may use those there as well. But for right now, you're not going to find the new Battleborn wheels. These are the X-rays on the website. So, and then like we've showed this over the last several months.
Year. I think Jim showed
year,
it
about a year ago.
Yeah.
The rear axle that's used on this is unique. It's got some differences of design. The link mounts are angled rather than in line with the axle.
There's 2 screws, one for each upper link.
Yep. Little differences there. It's got a little bit more pronounced, or a rear truss in general, right?
Yeah.
Backbone truss that the other one doesn't have. So
The mounts are angled too.
yeah, that's what we were mentioning.
Someone asked about the VFD spec. It is not a machined case, but every single option part we have for the VFD is in it. So machine gears, motor plate, bearing plates, posts.
Yep. We called it the Pro Spec in there because it was the same build as you would have found in the original VS410 Pro, which was the release of the VFD.
Is this the first time we've
Pro Spec? We have a name?
No, we've actually now we have 2 products that have the same transmission spec.
Oh yeah.
Because every one, it's like, well, let's do this a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit different here.
Yeah.
The RTR and the Ultra had the same. That was about it.
Yep.
Room for rear steer.
Room for rear steer.
Same as an optic.
Yeah, as far as that goes, the clearance in the
Figuring that out.
rear of the cage is
The current
the
one
same.
he was showing earlier has rear steer. So.
Right.
On
With
F10
portals.
But yeah.
But yeah, same. So as far as that goes there, what was some of the other?
What serial number is this? I think you can
7.
see it in the video.
7.
7.
Double-
Array is 5.
007. It does, if you watch the video, you'll notice that the headlights, as you can see here, they're not exactly the same as the Q series that you would have bought individually, because the housing is kind of machined into the grill itself as well as another piece, but it uses the same optic and chipset that the Q series
We
uses.
compacted and made it a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's much smaller, but still made of aluminum, so it's still an active heat sink. But now it's like the entire body.
Yep.
The whole thing is active and very bright. If you were
Driving towards yourself
yourself
during the
while
video?
filming,
Yeah.
People keep asking limited run. It is a limited run to only a certain amount.
right?
Just so you know, like right now, people have been able to buy it today because we did have a decent quantity because we kind of been machining for a while. But after that initial quantity drive, it's really going to slow down.
Yeah, and the once the first number that we put up sells out, then yeah, there will be probably quite a time period. I guess that's what people are going to ask.
How long until
How long till the origin is back?
Actually, if you get past the initial batch, we're going to have to probably extend that time.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Like that's gonna be out there. So yes, it is limited in a number of ways. Also, they're serialized, so
How many will be shopped out to YouTubers review? None.
No.
The only one that's going to get one.
yeah.
Wait.
Maybe Matt, if his payment,
We needed.
if his check
So
clears.
you showed off yours. I'm gonna grab mine, and then Josh can show his. Nope.
Yeah, it's gold plated.
No.
I've been taking it one piece at a time home, like Johnny Cash.
Panels
I wanna
available
show the-
separate. We will be making more panels. People want to replace them or fix them, but we will be focused on selling them only people that actually have the cages.
Yeah, it will. So I had not flushed it out yet, but I do have a method for how I plan to make replacement panel sets available to people who have previously purchased. But that will be, and as we mentioned, the cage is not the same underneath. So like these panels will not mount to an optic RTR or anything like that.
Yep.
So
There's a few holes that line up, and then there's a lot of mounting points that are just straight up missing
yeah,
on
so
the plastic case.
now the whole kit is a pretty special experience. We actually have a box here of one that's
Oh, yeah.
packaged. I think we should probably get into that.
Or do you want to talk about any paperwork?
I think we do that as part of it.
Because it's not in there yet.
It is not in there, but we'll
I'll
talk
save
about
that for next week
it. Yeah.
when you have that.
It's gonna be a little longer than that.
Are we
before
doing
I
an
actually show.
unboxing? Let's
I-
make Jim unbox it. Ah.
So,
Oh, I was going to show the dents.
Oh yeah,
We did
Jim.
accidentally.
Jim dented the hood on this.
What? No way.
Yeah, and then I started driving it for a second, and he goes, "What'd you do?" I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't do that, but yeah,
Actually, I do think that one was you.
I'm pretty sure it was not.
There's some good ones in the pack too.
Oh yeah,
So this
that
is
must have been
number-
when Jim
this
was
is number
driving the
5.
other one.
Actually, one time you did flip it. So.
I did flip it once. I agree.
Who flipped it first?
Not me. I did not drive for quite a while.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun. What button? I did.
My box was against it.
So
Oh, I wondered why it was moving. Jim's adjusting the table height.
It's kind of cool though.
Oh,
Actually,
that's-
my son actually helped with the design of this.
So this is the box that it comes in. Very sleek box.
You can see the inspiration for the decal set
Yeah, the chrome and
and
so
the bear logo.
yeah, the bear logo. I think was this the first time that we
I think
came
that's
up
where
with
you
that?
got it from.
It may have been on this graphic first, but
Right, and then we used it on the optic kit.
shipped before this.
So-
yeah.
Some varnishing in different areas, but inside, I don't like this.
Matt says I was the first one to flop.
I don't
I know.
like this at all. Inside, when you open, you'll find more boxes.
That's it. I shut it.
Create the logo. So the center portion of the box will come out first, and then we'll get into the next part. But what is this?
Oh, there's the logo.
Logo, as you can see. If you're not hitting the light right, you don't see it as much. But all part of the logo that you see at the top. Inside of this, you've got the axles,
Wheels, and chassis components, some hardware, like the battery tray parts, the carbon wings.
There you go, Josh.
That is true. This is different. But so inside here, you've got what we have labeled as bag A2, B2. This is
Just wheels.
just wheels.
Yep.
So this probably, G2, because that's next. A, B, and then G. But
C is the transmission.
I know, I'm kidding.
And
So,
there's the shocks and the links.
like we,
Here you go.
Josh is clueless at the moment.
I am
because he
not.
had nothing
I've
to
been
do
into
with
this.
This is where proud daddy comes in. Right? You want to say who that was?
I think with a lot of hand, leading
Still.
to water. Jimmy had fun with this project after
So
he.
my son's an engineer in training, and he was the one that was tasked to help with the box.
Yep, you got to do some sizing, some box fitting,
Some foam cutting.
Cutting,
foam cutting.
it was pretty brutal. But it was kind of cool to work with my son to do
Yeah.
something. You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
I think the first time I ever did a Ripper project which is like when paintball guns is right before he was born.
Yeah.
We showed him the finished graphics, though, right?
Yeah, he's seen the box.
Okay.
Remember we didn't open the boxes here.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, because
Um,
he did the sizing and then
Right, and then we had to go into,
apply
you can't-
graphics and make
yeah,
everything.
yeah, exactly. But in these bags, we're producing the axle housings and these knuckles, third members. You get the servo mount as well. Up front on that, we didn't show it real close, but you will find that we have the machined rod ends with the stainless steel steering link. So as you can see there, so you do end up with everything. The slider is still the molded piece because that slider is
Yeah.
moving in there. It was one of those things like going back and forth. We kept that as that molded piece just for functionality. And I think that for people that
was
are
the
going
way
to
to
use
go.
it, that's going to be the best way.
Yes.
So we left that as is. But you'll find the axles, like we said. Also, we did functional bump stops on this, which Brandon was dangerously
because-
assembling over
Yeah,
here.
This one still has.
Oh, yours has the
I was
plastic.
gonna wrench on
Yeah.
it.
But we did the functional bump stops, little spring piston setup. This is another one of those things that was not going to be part of it, then decided to be part of it. And
I kept adding stuff
Yeah,
and
like-
it was driving them nuts.
Yeah. Okay, let's just add.
I told you the instructions are done. The screw counts are done. Everything packaged. Please stop.
Well, that's what
So-
we assembled them.
As part of some of these things, you will, when you're assembling this, find some parts that there is going to be the molded version of inside of the kit. I think,
Yeah, so like the rear shock mounting tray. the plastic versions in the kit components. But we decided, hey, let's machine this as well.
Yeah.
And
So
happens
you
a
know,
lot.
the front steering linkages, the molded versions are in there, even though we have included the metal rod ends, the linkages, and all of that.
You guys
So-
will get some insight into 2 years of change requests.
Exactly. We're just like, oh, it's a special project. We can do this. It's no
Yeah.
big deal.
When will it be in TOF?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When will it be in TOF?
The Battleborn X-rays that are included here also do come with SLW hubs, so everything's included there. There is no tires, though.
475s. Yeah, no tires. You guys,
Yeah.
that's one of those personal.
We
choices.
left tires out, tires, foams. That's going to be up to you
Almost
on that
didn't
side.
do wheels, but it's
We-
like, hey, let's do something special.
And it was interesting as we were talking with Battleborn on this, kind of telling them the direction about a year ago.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, actually, I'm an early Bronco guy. The X-ray was specifically designed to have that old school style that matches. We're just like, okay, well, it's done.
or what? Nothing.
Ah,
PR
oh,
guy in the
yeah.
back too. It's just like,
will you repackage that?
Yeah, got the button for you now.
what?
What?
All right, we're booting them.
Will John do a mindful build origin next week?
Jeez. The number of screws in bag G. No.
Next, you have 2 more boxes in here. The center here is the actual assembled cage. Now, the cage is going to come just like this.
Grab it by the phone. So you can show them.
I'm just being super careful. So, thank you. The cage is going to come assembled. It's mounted in the foam like this.
For multiple reasons.
A number of reasons. 1, presentation, so you get to see it. 2, it's the safest way we felt that we could get this to you without cosmetic damage or anything like that. So it comes assembled, although you're going to have to likely disassemble and reassemble.
You do have to disassemble.
You do have to disassemble.
With the hardware being hidden for the rear fenders and the front,
Yeah.
it needs to come apart. A lot of that stuff gets assembled when the cage halves are open. So
Right. So you get it this way for that reason. It is fun to see it this way. So, but just be aware. Now, and the screws that are used here included, you don't
extra.
you don't have to use
I
those.
agree with
There's
Tina right now, by the way.
you don't have to use those screws. There's new versions of those in the bag. So if you don't want any witness marks of your, tools or anything like that, that is up to you. But just be aware that is the case. So we do use the black hardware throughout to try and keep it nice and stealthy. Some people have expressed that, stainless, that. These screws have got a super durable head to them. They also look really good with most of the colors. If somebody wants stainless, they're all
Easy
the
to
screw
change out.
all the
Yep.
screw lengths are listed in the manual. You could swap out anything that you wanted if that was the case. But these screws are very durable. So I do like the hardware that Brandon has counted several times.
Somebody built 3 of these, and 2 out of those 3 times the screws were wrong, and the last time they were correct. He goes, "Okay, we're good." I'm like, "You missed something in the first 2 because
Yeah.
I built 3, and they were all good."
All perfect.
Talk about heart rate, stress. Like,
So I'm going to give you that.
do not want to miss screws.
You handle that part. 2 boxes left inside of this part. So this one here is very heavy, and this is the remainder of the parts included. Am I cutting this?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So
I mean, Karina's watching, so
now
it'd be my fault.
we're machining chassis, axles, all those other components here. On the box, the shipping box that you will see, there is a label on there that says, hey, they're right behind me, that does say made in Taiwan on the front. And that's because
So-
we received this kit over here,
And we received the box.
the box, all of that. And inside of there is like the screws that are prepackaged, some of those molded components that we're using, the shocks that are all
transmission.
optioned, the decals, things like that. But
So what
That
you're
is-
seeing here
yeah.
is this is the only part of this kit that is made in Taiwan.
yeah, is this
Everything else
box.
is made here.
So, and that's where you're going to find, the sticker sheet like we showed if you want to use that. You also have the manual decal sheet for the interior. You have the interior parts. Here's your molded carbon fiber roof with the serial number on the inside as well. Some axle shafts, like I said, the shocks, the links, all of that stuff is what you'll find in this box.
So, like, here's an example of some of the plastics that you'll see in the kit that you're obviously not going to use. That rear plate, bump stops, roof panel, but the interior's in here, the fuel cell's in here, a lot of the other components.
Right. So that's what, and for, you know, when we're importing the box, like unless we were going to rebox or do something like that, that's why you're going to see that on the outside of that shipping package. And
So
that's why that is.
You know, front axle, you just have bearings, hardware, shafts, gears.
So
Not a lot.
one thing we haven't touched on yet, the last comment there, yeah, not Captain Peen.
Yes.
Numbers matching, origins. So there's one thing that is not shown in here yet. Which
Go ahead.
it's going to be, it's a fun part of this.
This is the only reason why we included Josh in the project. He'd be deemed
So-
so.
As part of this, when you purchase one of these, you get it along with it. You're going to get an actual certificate of origin. No pun initially intended, but at this point we're embracing it. So we got with a company that makes vehicle titles for most of the states, and it's a legit certificate of origin with fraud protection details on it. And when you purchase it, it's going to have your original information about the vehicle, the serial number, and all that. And then on the back side of it is where it has like transfer of ownership information. So you sell it to somebody, you better include, it's like selling something on Facebook Marketplace without a title if you don't sell that. So it's going to be a cool piece. It's branded with Vanquish products on it as well.
Fraud protection.
Yeah.
Harvey's hooligans.
Oh,
Camera down again. What do I do?
hit the.
It's not with cables in it.
It feels like it's something like that.
Josh decided to completely redo everything in the studio for today.
I think it was a big mistake.
I know.
He wanted-
Well, I did it yesterday and it worked fine then. So this is the other box here, and inside here, oh, those look fantastic. Oh, wow. So this is a blue panel set that really looks nice with all of that selection. Brandon, go.
Yes. So die cut foam, again, protection for the, all of the important components of the kit. We did decide,
My foot was on the
I don't
cable
have
down
gloves
there.
on, Karina, don't.
That's the cool one, but I don't think that has anything to do with it.
So the grill you get, it does have the Q series pre-installed. The wires are plenty long. You will have to wire these up. We include the little power module for these that you have to solder inline and then go to your 12-volt power source. We typically run 3S packs on everything, so directly off the battery and you're set. Not sure how Karina did that so neatly. I'll just put that right back where it was. But yeah, that blue looks excellent.
It really does. That is a hard choice not to make with that. So, like we said, we don't have all of the colors to show yet, but as we do keep going,
Yeah, we'll bring them in as we
we'll update.
each week's live feed. We can bring in a new color that comes back that we haven't shown yet. We'll try to take photos of them as we can, update the product page. That way you guys can see like examples of everyone. We had a lot of guys ask for like a configurator or builder built into the site to try to visualize that stuff. With the two video trucks, we did the best we could. We did a black cage, gray body, clear cage, red body, just to show that off. So put that piece back in. So my truck that Jim was so kind to give to me when I said, hey, I need to test one of these kits. I need to make sure all the screws are right and everything's dialed. So Jim handed me this, and
Did that freeze too? I'm
Oh, did
sorry.
we miss
No,
anything?
no, there's-
Jim goes, here, this one's for you. And he gave me 002, which was pretty rad.
All
001
right.
is Steve's.
all right
Yeah.
way up.
I did make you a front axle at one point. We have no idea where it's at.
It's not on here. I'm gonna have to swap that out.
It was on your desk at one point, Jim.
Yeah, you guys keep grabbing it to like test fit stuff. Yeah, so I put this together, and at the time we didn't have anything from plating because some of these, all of this should be production on this car. I don't think we made any changes after.
That one looks production.
Yeah. So I went with it. I just kept going. I assembled the whole car with raw parts, and I can't bring myself to do anything other than this now because.
So no black on black on black.
No, I'm so bummed because it would match. So let's see. I think
It's 40. You're 45 in
I'm
here?
45. Yeah.
Yeah, 45 is your.
Yeah.
That was nice of us too.
Yeah. Little signing bonus.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
right
so-
when we started.
Yeah. Mine is number 2. Steve has number 1. Jim has 000. So another thing this has, because this was built way early on, is plastic bump stops on the front of the cage, which is what I figured I'd wrench on today. I was going to swap the final production bump stops in there. Polish that aluminum. Just buy another one, Brandon. I've considered not running this, but then I would have to buy one to
I have
run.
no idea where to put it.
Oh, I know where it's at.
I think it's over there.
Yeah, it is.
Josh is frantically looking. I
Well-
try to fix this, so we'll continue to show
Yeah.
you guys some details
Our
here.
new camera is not working.
Yeah, I took
Thinking it's capture card.
I took my front shock off because I was going to work on swapping those bump stops out. There we go. Watch me struggle live, try to get the shock back in. Because Josh is leaning over the top.
Exactly.
No. Yeah. Jim's perfect tolerances here.
I think I can.
There we go.
I don't know.
The reason we did
Oh,
this change to the cage for the double shooter shock mounting was because I was taking these trucks apart and reassembling them over and over and over. And every time I had to remove the shock in its old configuration, I'd have to pull the hood, pull the battery door, and then pull the fender off.
Apparently I gotta move it.
And it was like, it was so much work to get to that point.
What's happening?
Get the Windex out of the shot. Where's the Windex at?
It's gone now.
Jeez.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep. So after doing that a couple times, I said, "Hey Jim, we really should try to change the screw position." So because these cage sides and most of these components are machined on a 5-axis machine, we were able to actually Jim was able to make this part in one op and then adjust that shock position in the design and actually turn that screw position. So it's not even square to the front of the truck. They're actually angled inwards. They follow that hood cowl shaping. That way you can get that screw out of the groove. So is this essentially the second Ripper, J-Max asked? Yeah, the original project concept was to make a Ripper 2. I mean, that
Yeah.
was what we all wanted,
But
was
what
to
we
continue that.
notice is like China's been using that name a lot. And so we have this one trademarked now. And
So, right,
because
we
it's
weren't
for protection.
able to trademark the name Ripper. And the next best thing was the name Origin, which was from our very first kit, and we all fell in love with, and we thought it was a perfect fit to bring this back. So yeah, I think Origin, the Origin name itself, we could continue to use in the future for any special projects like this.
Yep. China's still going to ignore that. You kind of know, but we still have a little bit of enforcement power on that now.
Where's Ripper number 1's in here, right? Instead of me wrenching on
The
this.
black one.
Let's show that one off. So this one's Steve's. Again, sorry guys for the camera stuff.
Josh was working on it right now.
This one down.
You
So-
use plastic brace. Yeah, we actually kept the front plastic brace for a lot of cost savings. I know everybody like $300, but and also a place where it actually could hit kind of hard without creating too much damage to the system.
Well, yeah. So the plastic central pieces up front, this bumper, I could not stand running my Ripper version 1, my original Ripper with the aluminum bumper. It would snag on everything. So I actually run a plastic bumper on my original Ripper. And when we got to this point, I'm like, let's just leave this. This is a great spot for impacts, sliding. And then the dash up front, just works well, you know, going with that plastic interior that's already from the optic. Leave the dash, and you know, you don't really see it in there. Yes, they are. So it uses a standard 1.9 conventional beadlock ring.
We're back in business.
We are.
Ooh, look how close we are.
But we're gonna have to do this lens, I think, right?
So this is Ripper number one. This is Steve's. The red accents, all of the H10 Origins come with red shock caps and collars. We did that because we already had the red accents, the aluminum oil fill caps on the rear axle and the fuel cell, and we just kept with that theme and included red caps and colors. So Steve wanted some red accents on his wheels, IFR compatible, and then black cage, black body.
2.2 clearance. I mean, it depends on the tire size, but like we did design this around a lot of clearance to the steering, so you can actually get away with a lot.
Well, the shape of the fender and the grille being much wider than the H10 optic, you're really tight with a 475 up front. Like you're
Go to the tight camera.
just
I don't know
starting
what
to
that is.
scrub that.
Um,
So yeah, you could go to a 2.2 tire, larger height. You would just have to run a little more offset on the wheel to clear that. You guys should be able to see how tight that is right there. So that's at max steering angle. The camera's not really doing it justice, but that's all the way over.
And Josh is working on technical difficulties here.
Yeah, I can go back to it now. Do the two. Second one, then flip them, and go back to the first. It's any better.
We don't have to do it. We only got 20 more minutes max.
Oh, we forgot to turn off Facebook, Josh. Oh, bonus week.
We'll do it for today.
When can I get my H10 optic rear aluminum axle? Those are full-blown production. You should see them anytime. Yep.
Green, huh?
Yeah. Are all the color choices in matte or one's production, one gloss?
No, man.
Yeah, everything's a matte finish. We do that. It's more of a uniform look with without the process we do to get that matte finish. It doesn't. The gloss anodizing on such a large surface gives a lot of, what would you call, like the variance in the shades?
Yeah, it's just a lot.
This is a good way for us to keep all the body panels matching, uniform, and you don't see, you know, any weird separation in the color.
People keep asking on knuckles that are being produced, and until there's enough, which is coming pretty fast. So
Yes, so
we did increase the production.
the H10 Origin does get a specific knuckle for this project. Again, that's one of those parts that won't currently be sold separately.
So this, sorry, go on. This is built in USA, yes, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're just joining and you had that question earlier in the video, we did show all the components that are the only components that are made in Taiwan. Box, gears, transmission, shocks, stuff like that is made in Taiwan. Cage, body panels, axle housings, wheels, all of that's made right here. One building over from where we're sitting right now.
Quantity, I mean, people keep asking. I mean, I wrote a serialization program up to 999, and that's ever it's going to be made. Not that we'll ever hit that number, but even if we were, it's going to take a long time because it takes quite a bit to make one of these. So
yeah, we don't have a quantity set. There's a ton of variables. Like Jim said, there's 3 digits on that back plate. So 999, other than 000, technically 1,000 at that point.
yeah, but we're not selling those.
Yeah.
0 through 10 are staying inside.
Yeah. So we could make that many. How long it would take for us to actually machine that many parts to make that many kits would probably
Years.
we would be up to something else before that happens years from now. So yeah. So I guess if that's your definition of limited, yes, it is.
There will be a point where we do turn it off. Will we made more than that? I don't know. We're kind of winging it. I mean, in the end, we're always a company trying to sell as many as possible, but
Yeah,
we do know
we would need more machines.
there's a limitation to what we want to do. By the time, what happened?
You just blew it all over the screen, Josh. Yeah, so there's some machining footage. Is some of the footage that we have project, it's not in the product video on the page. you guys have asked for, shop tours, walking around, showing a lot of that behind the scenes stuff. This was the first time Jim was actually comfortable with showing some of the machining footage. The intro to the video for this product that shows a really cool clip where the cage comes off of yeah. But the robot basically has forks and pellets put it in the machine and then places it when the part's done. So there's a clip where the cage comes out. It's pretty incredible the capabilities we have here.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Apparently it's really loud.
Yeah, turn that off.
So nobody heard what I said?
It's so loud.
Sorry, Jim, you don't get that compliment. Nobody heard.
That's good. I felt it.
He feels all warm and fuzzy. What other questions do we have? Sorry, we've missed a ton of the questions.
There's something more to go through. I mean, we almost have to do another week.
Yeah, we'll do this again for sure. As we make progress in getting these things packaged, we'll probably do a little more behind the scenes with, as they're actually getting packaged. We'll show you guys some more colors. I'd love to do more, like show some of the color combinations that are currently being ordered.
Mhm.
Somebody ordered all bronze. Like every drop down box that they could click was bronze. What are you laughing about, Josh?
Just my audio.
Blasting yeah, perfect.
How bad was it? Did you mess them up pretty well?
Oh yeah, that's pretty loud.
Josh,
Did you actually ever weigh one? Did you keep best moment?
yes, I weighed one. 5 pounds, 8 ounces without electronics and no tires. So that was wheels, hubs, complete kit assembled as it is out of the box.
Hold that down, Brandon. OG. Okay.
Pull what down? Oh, got it.
The OG or his OG? Yours.
This is the OOG.
Put them next to each other just to compare.
Ah, yes. Now that I have both of my front shocks removed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wheelbase, pretty similar. 475 tire. These are a little smushed down here. But the stance comparison between the two, I mean, it's a good representation of the evolution we've been through in the 10 scale crawler market.
This was us adapting to someone else's platform,
Right.
which the suspension had limitations in cycling. Now we don't have that limitation. This is actually going to be, we drove it for the video and it was actually really fun.
Yeah. No, sorry, my shocks aren't on there, but a little better shot of the two. Yeah, so the optic cage, let's see, let's go top down. Lengthwise, very similar, slightly narrower on the optic, mostly because we got H10 origin. On the optic, we got creative with battery placement, battery compartment, whereas you could run a full 5,000 milliamp pack on the original Ripper under the hood.
Yes.
Could you fit a 5,000?
I mean,
You might have to get the hammer out, but it's really close. Yeah.
You put a big battery.
the size of it was kind of scale off a bomber interior. Just
We should add a toenail to the list of colors.
No.
well, like $500.
Some people brought up why the price I think on the anodides, because when they have to plate them, they actually sometimes have to set tanks up, and that costs money.
Right. And so clear, black, they always have those tanks going, and we can send so many more of those out at a time. Let's say we get X amount of orders and one of them wants orange. We see a additional charge from our plater for that because we're only doing one set of body panels, not 10 sets of body panels. So it was the only way we could actually offer all of the colors.
It was the only way to manage it
and sustain it. Yeah.
Yeah. Without just wrecking lead times.
Yeah. If we didn't do that and we had to wait for anodizing to say, okay, we have an orange tank ready, send all your orange stuff. And meanwhile, everybody who ordered that color has already been waiting 2-3 months. This way we were able to just, process them as we got the orders.
They will never send out raw. Give up.
Yeah. No other questions, Jim?
No. By the way, we're all tired. I think we all couldn't sleep last night. I got up really early.
We were working on web page, product page, making sure all the details were dialed. Josh was testing the website to make sure All the color stuff worked.
Someone's asking about serial numbers. No, you're going to get them in mostly the order that you purchased. We did send out some clears and blacks, some common colors out to hopefully get a little headway and get a little faster. But in most cases, your order is going to be, your serial number is going to be in the order that you purchased it.
Roughly.
It's pretty close. Not one's able to really get their own number.
Right.
No request.
Nope, no requests. Yeah, we've already had some color change requests moments after customers place the order. We're still trying to figure that out.
Am I the origin machinist now? I thought about that, but I'm still the ripper machinist.
I like that.
I did think about that.
Show these again. Just it says rear bump stops or just say bump stop.
There's no rear bumps though.
No rear bump stops.
It must be. Is there a mistake on the website?
I don't know.
Highly likely.
I mean,
Spent all day typing.
we could have made that mistake.
Yep, no rear bump stops. Unless you guys are
It
looking.
says functional bump stops.
So bump stops is being assumed all four
Yeah.
corners.
There's two.
Two functional bump stops.
You won't see that number on your serial. Basically, as they pull the orders, they will be signing numbers to it.
Yep, you will find out what your serial number is when you receive your origin kit.
Can you see the rear axle again? I will grab another truck.
Sorry, wrenching.
There you go.
Let me grab one that's going to
Yeah, love that gray
I
one.
was
Yep.
scratching by accident.
Sorry, Steve.
Time to
You gotta hide your face, and then it'll focus on it.
Is it?
Move it up. Rotate.
I don't know. That's not.
Yeah, there's some really good photos that I took
Yeah,
on the product page. They're on the website.
Oh, we didn't talk about actually the knuckles are also unique to this truck.
Yes, they are. I didn't mention that. There are photos of, so if you go to the gallery, like next to the price for the origin kit, go to that gallery and click through those photos. There's something like 40, 50 photos in there. There's multiple angles of the front axle, rear axle, knuckles, all the stuff.
It's just Brandon's face you have to hide.
Oh, is that yeah, it's overly focusing on me. Yep, so tons of good photos in there. Like I said, we'll try to update it with more colors in the future. So I'm squeezing out another 2.2 BBW comment before 4.
Actually, it probably does mean you got bumped down, unfortunately. That's just the way it's going to be working. They're going to be filled in the order numbers, period. We've talked about this internally.
What was the question?
Nick bought one and he canceled the buy through his dealer.
Right. So
Unfortunately, that's how it works.
Yep, they will get packaged in the order they come. So if you cancel your order for whatever reason and then reorder, that changes the order. So
Scale welds on both the axles? No, just the rear one. The front one is our current H10 axle.
we talked through that extensively, and it came to the point where what could we really change on the front axle design wise to make it unique in order to justify adding the scale welds.
Yeah.
And they're just packaging wise wasn't a ton there. Jim's always wanted to do this on the rear axle with the link mounts like that.
Mhm.
You've done that before on something else. I can't remember.
We built a lot of axles.
Yeah, and it's a
I
really
think it
cool look.
Was it
So
the Rift?
possibly, yeah.
Was it the Rift axle angled the top links?
We did angled links on something.
Yeah.
I thought.
And your original Kirby FDX trusses.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
on the
So
add-on.
on there
Yeah,
too. That's right. Yep.
losing steam here. What are you working on?
Fixing my typo.
Is Josh going to build one of these kits on a Friday?
You only have
You said
5
different knuckles. Did you just mean aluminum that will fit existing? They will fit existing, but they are specific to this vehicle right now.
Yeah.
When we also say specific, we kind of like want to keep some of these products more for these like special projects. Like
Oh, here's something we could show. Taking this off. I built my X-rays with a notch ring. So they come with a conventional. I use the notch ring and scale hardware on mine. And then here's the passenger side knuckle. So focus. No, we're not good enough for that. So passenger side knuckle with the dual arms. little bit different look than the, sorry, I'm trying here, guys, than what will be available for the, as an H10 option part. I almost ran this truck the day we went out to video. I had all the electronics and everything in it. And then I was like, we don't need to drive this because
We should
raw's not enough.
we should use that for show truck.
Yep. Although we do have,
So those aren't H10 knuckles. Technically, they are H10 knuckles, but it's specific for this vehicle. We have a different version knuckle for selling to the public.
do we have any of those here? Yes. This is the knuckle that will be available.
Here.
These are coming off the machines and they will be up on the site soon. We're just trying to, hit a certain production number before we make them available. We just want them to be enough so that you guys can get them. Working on it.
Which we're getting close to none.
Yeah.
Please say thank you to Michael for answering my email.
Within 5 minutes,
He's not here to tell him that.
will do. Will the wheels be sold to the public without buying the origin?
Not currently.
Not currently.
Um,
We're trying to reserve the right to do that potentially. So we're not saying yes or no, but no plans at the moment. Right? Is that the proper PR?
Yeah. With that said, we do have ideas for more rims coming for the future for everyone else.
Yes, of course.
Can't wait. Checking the website constantly. It's already there.
When will the H10 front servo mounts be back in stock? That's one of those parts that's constantly coming off the machines, going to plating, packaging. It's always a process. Sometimes something goes out of stock and we get those alerts a little late, but we're working on it.
Can you still rear steer the original?
Rear steer.
I mean, you did a rear steer. Come off this, and you can do rear steer.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff's been documented. People have done it. Josh and I, or Michael and I, need to build a rear steer optic or origin soon. Just to kind of go through like what's needed, links, rod ends, fitment stuff. So that's an upcoming live feed. We will do that.
Blue one is missing wheel nuts in the product pictures.
No. Wheels would have fell off, but possible.
We have blue ones in product pictures.
Well, Bob and I assembled and disassembled these cars multiple times to take colors of body panels and different cage configurations.
So when you don't have the wheels on, the front doesn't have a lock wheel nut.
And the rear does. Oh, because I was trying not to lose the nuts. Oh, yeah. My bad.
We're limited on labor here. Give us a break.
I was trying so hard not to have any mistakes in the photos.
Yeah.
It was days of standing by that photo booth, moving parts around.
The harder we try to not make mistakes, we still make mistakes.
Yeah. I actually freaked out. I took photos one day, like the last 4 hours of the day, and I go and open the folder on the SD card and there's like 20 photos there. I'm like, what happened? And so I backed out and it created a new Canon 101 folder instead of 100 because I rolled past the 10,000 mark in photos. I was like, oh, there they are. Oh, what's that?
Well, that question has popped up.
That's a brand new question.
Yes, twin will fit.
Where's
So all you need to do, swap the skid plate to a twin skid plate. And this one has dig servo and shift overdrive shift servo both in there. They will fit. So these are low profile servos. They fit really nicely in the rear. This is the prototype chassis, but I was running a twin in this. So this one had front rear steering and 2 shift servos. It was like 5 channels in my car. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that was it. We were driving around the front curves, denting it and crashing it.
Yeah, that was the first one that got dents.
We're at time.
All right, guys, 4 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the positive feedback today. We really appreciate it. It was an awesome project. We were excited to finally share it with you guys.
Thanks for supporting us.
Yep. See you next week.